20 question book tag. We love doing book tags. They're always so much fun.
These 20 questions are really based on what we prefer as readers. There is 20 though, and there's 2 of us, so we're gonna try to keep it snappy so it's not like a 40-minute long video. A lot of these questions are really interesting, so we're excited to get into them. The first one is, how many books is too many books in a series?
I'm gonna say like 4 or 5. It really depends. Like if the series is good, like the Addicted series, I will have no problem reading all of them. But like The Cruel Prince, let's stop at 3. Don't go to 4.
This one, I'm being very specific because I love a good trilogy, but I don't really consider that a series because it's a trilogy. I feel like after 4 books is a series, so like 5+ is a series. Once you get around like 6, 7, 8 books, like that ends up being a lot, you know?
Okay, question number 2 is, how do you feel about cliffhangers?
I really love a good cliffhanger. It has to be real good though, like some kind of big reveal you weren't expecting or a plot twist. Cliffhangers can be done really well, and then they get you excited for the next book.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say yes.
I like cliffhangers as long as the following book does have answers.
Number 3 is the big question for readers, hardcovers or paperback?
I'm a paperback girly. I know you're a hardcover girly.
Yeah.
I think it's because I read mostly romance though, and they pretty much are always in paperback. And I know with you and fantasy and that genre, it's mostly hardcover.
Yeah, definitely. I used to like paperbacks a lot, but I damage them so easily, and I feel like with hardcovers it's a lot more durable. Paperbacks, I'm always worried I'm gonna crack the spine.
I have really small hands, so I feel like hardcovers are always like too heavy for me. Let us know if you like hardcovers more or paperbacks more. Question number 4, what is your favorite book?
This is like the most dreaded question
I know.
I have as a reader.
I can't answer this one.
Especially when someone finds out you're a reader, that's always the first question, and I never have an answer.
Yeah.
We've read good books, great books, but none that have really made us feel like this is my favorite book.
Yeah, I don't have a favorite book.
It's the same thing with like favorite movies, songs.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
And it's always, if someone asks me what my favorite movie is, it's like at this time, my favorite movie is Shrek. But was my favorite but was my favorite movie Shrek like 5 years ago? Probably not.
Yeah.
Favorite from this year?
I read Flowers for Algernon, and that one was very, very good. So I guess I would say that one. But who knows?
I'm not gonna answer.
Okay. So number 5, we have the opposite of that one, and it is, what is your least favorite book? That one I feel like is easier to answer.
Yeah, it definitely is. So for me, I'm gonna go a different route because I normally say an Emily Henry book. But in 5 years, we'll put up the cover because we don't want to go get it. But that book really just made me so mad, so annoyed. The synopsis sounds really great. I'm not gonna get into it, but just the ending really made me mad. That one I just did not enjoy.
I remember hearing you rant about that one, and it totally made me not want to read it.
Yeah.
I've had a couple books that I really just have not liked in the past. One that I really just did not like, and I would say is my least favorite book that I've ever read, was Invincible Summer. I originally had wanted to read this because I loved The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I thought it was going to give me the same vibes. It was just not it. I know a lot of people like it because it was like a family dynamic, but it just missed for me. It was some of the worst writing that I feel like I've read. Honorable mention, Diary of an Oxygen Thief. I DNF'd it. It was really bad.
Question number 6, love triangles, yes or no?
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah.
They can be done so well, and I love it when I like all the characters. However, every time there's a love triangle, there's always gonna be one person that I'm hoping the main character ends up
Team
with.
Conrad over here. I would say yeah too. I mean, I adore the Summer I Turned Pretty series, so.
Yeah. Number 7 is, what is the most recent book that you couldn't finish?
For me, it was The Flat Share by, I think it's Beth O'Leary. I'm sorry, I just could not make it through. And then when that happens to me while I'm reading a book, I'll jump into the audiobook in hopes that like it'll get me through it. So I did that, but it was just horrible. When the guy main character would talk, he wouldn't have like quotation marks. So I wouldn't know like, are you saying this to somebody or are you thinking it? It was just so confusing. The audiobook didn't help at all either. I just really was not into that one. Mine
was from this year, and it was Darling Girl. It was a book of the month book. I really wanted to like it. I DNF'd before I even got halfway through. It wasn't it for me. If you want like a Peter Pan retelling, that's not the one I would recommend.
The next question is, what is a current book that you're reading? But we do want to say this is pre-recorded.
So the book I'm currently reading right now would be Addicted After All in the Addicted series. It's book 5, Lillian Lowe's last perspective book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super sad, but that's what I'm currently reading.
I think for me, I'm gonna read Razorblade Tears next. I'm not reading anything right now, so I don't know. It might be that, I might change it. I don't know.
Question number 9 is, what was the last book you recommended to someone?
We just recommended The Love Hypothesis to all of you because we did just enjoy it and are swapping screen time for read time.
A book I just recommended to someone recently was The Last Thing You Told Me. Because the adaptation is about to come out and it was a mystery, I really enjoyed, so I would say that one. Go read it.
Yes. Question number 10 is, what is the oldest book you've read?
By publication date, mine was Flowers for Algernon. It was published in 1959. That was the oldest book I read, and it was fantastic.
I read The Summer I Turned Pretty in middle school when we were like 11 years old, so I'm just gonna go with that. I think that was the oldest book I've read.
Question number 11 is, what is the newest book you read?
The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I did really enjoy that one. I know it's kind of hit or miss for a lot of people, but I really liked it.
And that came out in like March of this year.
Yeah.
Mine was A Flicker in the Dark. This was another book of the month book. I think it came out this year in January. That was kind of a miss for me. I think I gave it like a generous 3 stars. It was an okay mystery thriller. It doesn't stand out to me in any way though.
Question number 12 is, who is your favorite author?
This is hard. I don't want to be basic and say Colleen. However, anything she releases, I will probably read. Another one though would be Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valiente. I'm obsessed with their writing so far this year, so I'd say them.
I would also say Colleen, but let's not be basic.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go my second basic route and say Taylor Jenkins Reid.
All good ones.
Yeah, perfect.
It's all going to be personal preference. Question number 13 is, buying books or borrowing books?
Buying, of course.
I feel like borrowing is the smartest route because then you can read it first, and if you really like it, you can buy it after. However, we're not smart.
No, yeah.
So we're just
That's how I started. I started borrowing your books, but then I was like, I need to own them.
Right. I know a lot of people do that with library books. That is so smart.
It is. I just can't.
I know. I wish I could do that.
Right? But it's like, it's a piece of my life, and I need it to sit there on my shelf. Question number 14 is, what is a book you dislike that everyone else seems to love?
I'm gonna say Neon Gods. I read this year. I just really didn't love it. I thought it was okay. I don't think it should have been labeled as a Hades Persephone retelling because I don't think that's what it was. But that's just what I constantly still see that's hyped, and it was just kind of okay for me.
I'm gonna say The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. I really wanted to love that book, especially because it's like a football romance and I love football. I don't know. I wasn't into it. I just didn't feel like the characters should be together, and I felt like it was really long. I get that it was a slow romance, but I wanted it to be a little quicker. I just wasn't rooting for the couple.
Number 15 is bookmarks or dog ears.
Bookmarks. Well, really, whatever I can find to just mark my spot, but I will never bend my pages.
That's what I was gonna say. If you dog bend your ears, if you dog ear your books, I'm scared of you. I'm scared of you.
Question number 16 is, what is a book you can always reread?
I'm gonna say Turtles All the Way Down by John Green because it was my first ever book. I feel like I can always go back to it and just like go back to my roots.
For me to go back to my roots, it would be the Summer I Turned Pretty series. I don't know how many times I'm gonna mention that book in this video, but I can always reread that book.
Number 17 is, can you listen to music while reading?
Yes, I can.
I cannot.
I know, you always have a problem when we go on road trips.
Yeah.
You can never read in the car, but I'm like...
Well, that's a whole different issue, but I need to like complete another silence.
No.
I need to be focused on what I'm reading or I'm not gonna like absorb it.
I put like Friends on when I read.
Oh no.
Question number 18. One POV or multiple POVs?
Honestly, multiple POVs. I feel like it adds so much to the book. I love being able to be inside one of the other characters' heads, see what they're thinking, the reactions to everything, and how that differs to like what they're actually showing the other people.
I'm gonna agree. Like, why would we not want to see what's in their head?
It adds so much.
Yeah.
Number 19. Do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days?
Most of the time, multiple days. But when we do our little challenges, one sitting.
If a book's really good too, I'll read that in one sitting. But I haven't had that happen just in a general day-to-day.
Yeah.
So multiple days, honestly.
Yeah. Question 20 is, who do you tag?
We tag every single one of you. We'd love to hear all of your answers to all of these questions. I feel like you get such a better understanding of what type of reader you are when you answer them. So honestly, anyone. Whoever wants to do the challenge, we tag you.
Yeah.
This was a perfect amount of questions, and we kind of flew through them.
Yeah, we did. We always have so much fun making these videos, just getting to talk about reading.
Hopefully you guys can answer them as well. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, like and subscribe if you haven't already. All of our social media is in the description, and we will see you guys next time. If you dog bend your ears, I'm like, yeah, check yourself. If you dog bend your ears. No, what does it say? Dog ear your what? If you dog
Is that how
ear.
it's called?
Yeah.
Is that how it's called?